Rise and shine, my pretty. Yeah, so 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Way too early for me on a regular basis, but this is part of the sweep team. They have an instrumental job in making sure everything is safe. They clean up debris from any accidents. They make sure the courses are safe. And then from here, I mounted the Coalax backpack just to do a quick test. Doing live is a little different, so we'll see what happens when we head out. Yeah, all right, this will be a good test to see what the footage is going to actually look like. All right, let's grab my bag, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Anything good? All right. Yep, sweet team's already left. So as I struggled to open my eyes, right now the time is around 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to be heading to my car after I drop off the key for the motel, Inn & Suites, to head on the road, stop at Tim Hortons Canadian Coffee Donut Shop to get breakfast, as I'm also trying to recollect the locations of some of the stages so that way I can get there more efficiently, and I only had access to current spectator spots, unfortunately. I should probably head to the first stage, or at least plan it out and figure out what I'm going to shoot with, lens, all that fun stuff. 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And so the rally begins! Next up is Vincent, and we have Christian. Now, it's been said that rally racing is the most difficult motorsport to shoot. It's very difficult to get a sharp image of the vehicle because, for one, the terrain is rough. The cars are bouncing up and down. They're swinging, along the Z-axis. The rate of acceleration is different from the front to the rear or from the rear to the front. They're heavy on the brakes. They're hard on the accelerator. So there's a lot of drastic changes in regards to movement in order to try to capture a sharp image. Now, although the 150-450 did an absolutely great job with the images you just saw, these next images and for the rest of the day, I just kept the HD DA55-300 PLM on the K-3 Mark III. I realized that there was just a bit too much reach on the 150-450, and the 55-300 PLM would be a better lens to use for the focal range going forward. Which brings us to the first head back to headquarters and run your repairs. So at the end of each stage, the teams are allotted 20 minutes to fix any ailments with the vehicle, whether it's replacing a part, welding on a new bumper, crash structure underneath the bumper cover, to replacing tires, adjusting the suspension, every single little thing. Now, during this, I didn't really care how I was shooting. I was kind of testing high ISO capability, and this last image of the stack of tires was actually shot at 12,800 ISO. So as you can clearly tell, there is not a whole lot of time available for you to pick up the camera, get the focus correct, pan, and shoot. You've got to be on it. You've got to be on point. You've got to have all your stuff ready, set. because there just is no time to quote unquote figure it out while you're shooting. Now, the other interesting thing here is the fact that a lot of the images that are seemingly not very sharp, they are in focus. It's the car vertically bouncing as it's going across the terrain, and that's what makes rally shooting so difficult. So the vehicles were actually coming from this corner here, and from the driver's perspective for them, it was a very sharp left and then a sweeping right onto a forest access road. So from the photography perspective, it's a sharp right and then a sharp left. Now, it really does not give you a whole lot of time to acquire focus or track the vehicle. You just have to kind of pre-focus, hope for the best, and just fire off shots as the vehicle is moving. There's a lot of changes that happen, and I was trying to go for the vehicle leaning on the suspension, opposite lock, debris flinging out from under the vehicle, to really give that sense of it's off-road, it's dirt, it's rally action, and the vehicle is at high speed. So that's what I was trying to go for with these images. Now, what I realized this year was that last year I did not capture the aftermath portion of the rally. So this year I purposely went back to the headquarters after each stage and captured some of the behind the scenes footage in regards to the repairs that had to be done on the vehicles. It was quite interesting to see how rally cars are jacked up. Also, like, oh man, the tires they use, the tread pattern, at least for a car guy, it was pretty interesting. And the jack stands that they use are interesting too. So there's a peg, and then within the peg, there's a cylinder on the body of the car. So they jack up the car, they just slide the pin into the hole, and then drop the jack, and the car just sits there. It was very, very, very interesting. So as you just saw, there was even less room to capture images in this vantage point of where I was allotted to stand. It was the closest I could get to the track. There were a number of people that were there. However, it was a good junction from the transition of where they were coming from versus, where they were turning to go down. Unfortunately, there was also that tree. So you really don't have a whole lot of space to capture your image. You've got to be spot on every time. I don't know what, approximately 1.5 seconds to be able to capture stuff. Maybe 2 seconds, depending on how fast the vehicle was going. Now, the first vehicle, the white one, that was to dictate the beginning of the race that it's going to be starting. It's got a siren that blares, and from there, then it was a matter of just waiting for all the other vehicles to come through. Now, there were some big sponsored vehicles. I call them, basically factory supported. There we go. And there were also privateers. So there's a lot of range of vehicles, all different speeds, and some people were being much more exuberant than others. And then at the end of the race, car number 999 goes through to say, okay, they've done a sweep to make sure there's no one there. Nothing's outstanding. And then it's followed by the sweep team, which is towing, pulling out, and the medical personnel afterwards in the very last image here. So there you go. That was my experience shooting the 2025 Novus Automotive Rally of the Tall Pines in Bancroft, Ontario. It was a very long day. Started off before the sun even came out, and I stayed as long as I absolutely could. Had some battery issues. The cold weather was just killing the batteries like no tomorrow. With that said, I also didn't have the access necessary to be able to shoot at some of the later evening stages. I'm hoping that as time goes on, I will receive a higher tier of access as official media. The reception from some of the teams, from the images that I have posted online, have been very good. Some very, very positive reactions, and I'm happy that they like them. Anyway, that's going to conclude this video. If you like the video, leave a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Always helps out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll answer what I can, whether it's shooting or rally related questions. I've been a huge rally fan forever, and yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go catch you on the next video. I'm out.